we had purchased the house, my wife and I, large house, had like an in-law suite, and Mama, you can come stay with us, you know? And I said, look, can you, I'm gonna pay for you to go down to Atlanta with your best friend while I renovate this house, because I had skills in construction. As I was renovating this house, brother, my mother had a major mental breakdown. I get a call, she's screaming, yelling, her best friend saying, stop, Marie, stop. And she's just throwing her best friend's furniture around, shattering glasses and vases. And I'm like, what's going on? No one knew. She ran through the neighborhood. Finally, her mind couldn't take all that she was suppressing. And so I had to calm Mom down just to get her on the plane back to Detroit, bro. So when she came back, she had to stay with us. And I at the time, our house was maybe 1,300 square feet. And I saw the stress on my children. My daughter, who adored my mother, couldn't sleep because she was in middle school because Grandma was pacing in the hallway and in the living room. And then to hear your own mother, you know, like, well, are you going to take care of me? I know you're not going to abandon me. I said, no, Mom, I got a house for you. Fast forward, she had another episode. And the neurologist said, she can't stay with you guys. She needs 24-hour care. At the time, we couldn't afford it. My mother's Social Security couldn't pay for it. Thankfully, you know, the Most High provided a place just 2 minutes from us. Beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood. It would be 4 mothers there, older women who all had dementia, and a lady named Kathy took like amazing care of them.
Wow.
During that process, she would call me when I have anger. My mother would have outbursts of anger rather. It'd be 3 a.m. I got to get up to go to work. I felt like I was losing my mind, Craig. It was like, and I would get up like, I gotta go to work. I can't come over there. One day when I was driving to go see Mom, the Holy Spirit say, you know it's written that you will reap what you sow. I said, yes. You remember the times, Jason, when you would hang out late DJing and your mother would worry and you didn't care the fact that she lost another son. It wasn't that important to you, and you would come home some days in the morning. My mother would be sitting on the front porch shaking, worried. And I would come home and like it was nothing, man, just, hey, Ma, and walk by. He says, well, remember that when you go in that house because it's your turn to receive what you've planted, your young adult life. And at that moment, I said, okay, good, I get that. But why are you keeping her here when she's not really living? Take her life.
Wow.
God was like, you don't know what love is. That's not love, that's fear. You're selfish. In order for you to take care of her, you can't be this Jason that's only masculine, the one who only exudes strength and boldness, aggression to in the doctors or pharmaceutical companies trying to rip her off. The son that may have to work another job just to help pay for some of her psych medication. You're gonna have to become tender, long-suffering, patient, kind, a nurturer. And other than that, you know, she won't get the care she received. She needed. So at that moment, brother, I said, you know, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna leave it all on the field for Mama.
Yeah. And
that's what changed me, because I would have never filed her nails being just the hyper-masculine male I was. I would have never massaged her scalp when she would lose her, just her mind and be angry. And I would just come and I had to stay calm and say, Mama, it's gonna be okay, and just rubbing her scalp. And then when Kathy was sick and down, I had to wash Mom up. And men who are only like masculine, only are stuck in that box, can't do all things through Christ. Because when he needs you to be a nurturer, you can't. When he needs you to be a gentleman, you can't. When he needs you to be a true lover, you can't. When he needs you to be long-suffering, you can't. But if he needs you to fight and provide, you can. So I wanted to be not only all things through Christ, but I wanted to be an image not of him, just of him, because he was the ultimate comprehensive man. You know, and so I embodied all of that, but it was my mother, not my martial arts training, not psychotherapy. It was, he used her as the ultimate sensei, the teacher, to shape me into the man I became today.
Jeez, man, let me tell you. Hold on, time out. I get a lot of books. I'm reading this one. This is in this book?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I'm reading this book.
Yes.
Goodness gracious, man. Like that just the vivid thought of you filing your mother's nails, it gets me emotional. It cuts me to the core because I'm like, man, am I that guy? You know, and who do I need to become to be that guy? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful.
That's good. You know, I was even with the title, it's like, how many of us are the wrong man in the moment? How often do we blow those moments? You know, I often compare, you know, our emotional repertoire to the 8 box of crayons versus the 64 box of crayons. I break it down in there. As men, we're used to the 8, you know, having 8, and I tie it to the emotions, but we only pull 4 of those out: anger, boldness, aggression, and maybe fear. Okay? But women, they choose to use all of the emotions that God has given us both. And then we wonder why we can't communicate with the women in our lives. It's always like a conflict, like, she don't understand, you know, I'm trying to do this and this and that. Like, you're not really hearing her. You can't meet her with what she's saying because you only got 4 colors, brother. So she pulls out violet. She's trying to communicate violet. All you got is purple. She pulls out lime. You trying to get green and yellow, like, okay, but you don't see how hard I'm trying to work. I'm trying to, you know. No, your heart is too hardened. You're hearing her words, but you can't hear her heart. And so we respond dogmatically, and now our wives put their hands up. There is no communication at that point. And so I had to learn how to become a verbal processor and process in real time, like, what is my wife really saying? And when I got to that level, now I can say, hey, babe, instead of saying you pissed me off or, you know, just accelerate to anger fast, I can say, it hurts me that you don't trust me leading this home. Instead of saying, why don't you submit to me? Why don't you trust me, babe?
Yeah.
I haven't failed yet in this regard. We make mistakes, but I hold the house. I do my part as the man and the head of this home. Now I'm pulling more colors out. I can meet her. And that's the importance of being comprehensive as a man. We were created to be more than masculine. You look at David, brother, throughout the Psalms, he cried, but no one dared test his masculine attributes. You got the samurai, great warriors, but they loved the cherry blossom tree. No one talked about their fondness for flowers. You would get beheaded. Where did this come from? Chivalry. It's not a way to pander to women. It was a code of the medieval knights. You see, the whole alpha male concept is a myth. When you study it, and I break it down as well, there is no battle between 2 wolves to see who's going to lead the wolf pack. The leaders of the wolf pack are the breeding pair, the male and female.
Today years old.
Listen, you can Google that. It's out there. So in other words, from a human standpoint, the alpha wolves are those that are married. And then when you look at my brothers who often proudly boast being alpha, when you really look at them, when I meet with them, they're trying to hide behind the childhood trauma, the insecurities, the fears. Your whole embodiment is to please women, from the glasses to the cigars, to the big Bugattis, to the Ferraris, to the shoes, to the clothes. But yet you're the alpha, but yet your whole life is geared around pleasing women. And we don't see it because we've been conditioned to believe that we are to lead by intimidation. Those aren't the greatest leaders. If that was the case, we would have great peace in this world. So I lead by example, not intimidation. And that's why it's important, especially for our young brothers. You know, I had made an acronym for the word thug, which is a traumatized human unable to grieve. And so that's why if I step on your shoe, you're ready to hit me or pull your gun out and shoot me, why you can't take disrespect, you can't even process it to keep yourself in an advantageous position. Now you do something, you react instead of respond. Now you like this and the police taking you away. And you lost the real fight because you haven't ruled your emotions. You only got 2 characteristics, provide and protect. And you don't even know how to do those well. We provide for everyone else but us, brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't talking about financially,
Mm-hmm.
but being able to rest.
Yeah.
You know, and we understand sleep, which is a physical act of just resting. But rest is the spiritual act. Rest is Hebrew for Sabbath.
Yeah.
It restores you completely. That's why brothers have a hard time taking naps when their wives come home. We jump up like, I got to keep working. Our identity, when you're only masculine, your identity is in doing. You're not a human being, you're a human doing. I got to keep moving. I got to keep working. I got to keep grinding. When you look at the word grinding, we know as men of God that words are powerful. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. The word grinding means to wear down, to crush, to oppress. You yell grinding in a machinery shop, they hitting stop, boom, stop, something's wrong. Because when you're grinding, you're wearing down. That's why the majority of people who say they grind look wore out.
Yeah.
And so I believe that the Most High has called me like, men are tired of suffering in silence. We see now like, wait a minute, there's more to life than just doing.
Right.
But until you have enough courage to be authentic and really express, like really allow like Christ to live through you, you'll never really fulfill what you're called to do. And that's why I'm thankful for my mom, that experience. I never thought I would be thankful that my mother developed dementia and I had to endure all that I had. But now, where I am as a man, I wouldn't trade it for anything.